Hey everybody, this is Bo back in the lounge. We're going to go down to Belmont Abbey, get a chance to talk to head wrestling coach, Coach Caudell. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Awesome, thank you. The wrestling scene is growing bigger and bigger. There's a lot of club level sports and club level sports that are being absorbed into varsity for wrestling. It looks like wrestling is finally growing, but growing again.
Yeah, it's good to see. We're still losing some Division One programs, unfortunately. Um, Division One seems to still be cutting back on the wrestling, but at the Division Two level, the club level, the NAIA level, it's starting to really grow, which is it's a pretty good time to be involved in it.
Absolutely, Coach. You've been a little difficult to get a hold of because you've been so busy working with different camps and working to promote wrestling. So, what have you exactly been doing?
Well, I did 2 weeks of camp at Appalachian State University. They run a really big camp up there, and then I've been doing clinics on my own, going to different various high schools, and either doing a 1, 2, or 3 day clinic for them, putting things together for them. The camp numbers seem to be down a little bit this year. The economy has a lot to do with that, so there's a little bit more work to do just going to local high schools, make it a little bit more affordable for the kids and the booster programs that support their athletes at the local level. So I've been trying to get a lot of those in, and just help making sure kids get the camp experience without maybe having to drive a few hours or spend a great deal of money.
Yeah, I mean, the economy here in Michigan is going to hit 20%, which, despite what our local officials say, is not bothering us. Yeah, 20% unemployment is going to bother us. So I think everybody appreciates what you do.
Yeah, Charlotte was kind of insulated there for a while, and I go to recruit in Ohio and Western Pennsylvania, and I was seeing the effects of the economy. Charlotte was staying pretty insulated from the rest of the country as far as that goes, but it's starting to hit the city now. The outlying areas it started to hit. I don't know, a few months or maybe even a year ago, but it's starting to hit it now, and it's unfortunate. But we've been pretty blessed down here as far as avoiding, the economies of some states, such as, like you mentioned, Michigan and obviously Ohio and Western New York and Western Pennsylvania have been hit pretty hard the last few years, and then obviously other states are taking a pretty good hit as well.
Yeah, but, it pays off when a coach like you and your program comes forward and tries to find ways to make things easier, closer by, have different elements who aren't suffering to help support some of the bill to promote their business. That's the hardest part, I think, about your job is when you sign on to be a coach, a lot of you all don't realize that you've got to be not only a cheerleader, but you've got to be the big head honcho booster maker, and that's got to be the hardest part of your job.
Yeah, it's more than just coaching your athletes that you have right now. It's about building relationships with the local community. A lot of time goes into that, and trying to increase the wrestling in your local area, and hopefully, after about 10 years of that, the wrestling gets much better, and you reap the rewards of that, and the kids in your area are better, and they start to come to your school. And it's just about building relationships. And with the sport of wrestling, it's very unique. Some sports they won't go out of their way to help other schools and things like that, but wrestlers are close to family, and we're willing to work together. For instance, me being up at Appalachian State, helping them out. We're just trying to promote the sport any way we can right now.
Well, Mark's got a brand new program up there. John Mark Bentley, he's assumed the position, or actually, granted for all the hard work he's put into that program for years prior, and he's now the new head wrestling coach. So I'm sure he's appreciating all the help he's getting from the community.
Yeah, absolutely. He seems to be getting quite a bit of support. Whenever you have a coach like Coach Mance, who's been there, I think 30 plus years.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult to take over the reins, but he's starting to get the alumni support. He's getting the support from the community and the local high schools there. So it'll just be a matter of time until they're really taking another step forward from what Coach Mance has built in the last 30 plus years.
Yeah, and he's a terrific guy to interview. Both of them were, and Bentley seems like he's got a lot of energy. He's got that youthful experience, and he can actually get on the mat and show up some of his athletes to really show them how to wrestle at the highest levels and become an All-American.
Yeah, that's always a fun thing to do. Is you get on the mats and teach your athletes. Fortunately, I believe I still have a few years left of doing that, and it's really good for your athletes to see and feel what you're trying to teach them. And John Mark obviously is young enough. he can get out there and wrestle every day, like most college coaches do. It certainly will help his program.
Yeah, and now you got a brand new class that's slowly creeping in. I know this coming week a lot of the students start showing up for football and other sports. Are you getting kind of anxious to see who shows up first and starts starting to go through practice drills?
Yeah, this is always an exciting time of year. I mean, every coach in the country is optimistic right now. You know, everyone's undefeated. You're looking forward to working with your new freshman class. So it's a really exciting time of year. You know, I miss the guys when they go home for the summer. I miss, you know, the camaraderie and seeing them. We do have guys that stay all summer and wrestle with us. But for the most part, my team goes home, and I look forward to getting them back and working with them and trying to help them achieve their goals, both athletically and academically.
Coach, now you've got guys that have been wrestling there who live near the area, able to come there, wrestle, go home a little bit, come back and practice throughout the summer. But you've got to have a core group, whether they wrestle every single match or they help out from the bench. Who are those guys that are stepping up as the juniors and varsity levels that are really sort of helping you out as a mini coach on the mat?
Well, we have Joe Kent, he just finished his redshirt sophomore year. He spent the last 2 summers with me after his freshman year and then this year after his sophomore year. And we've worked out. We've wrestled several times a week. He's lifted 5-6 days a week. So he's really going to be helping us out in the leadership standpoint. And then we also have a kid that was just finished his freshman year. He's actually from up your way in Lake Orion, Michigan.
Yes, sir.
Jake Barelick. He's kind of taking a leadership role as a freshman. You know, we're looking forward for him to start for us this year potentially. He'll be a redshirt freshman for us. He's been here all summer, training and putting the work in. And then we've got some older guys. Corey White, he'll be our only senior this year. He's been putting some work in over the summer, and you know, hopefully we can finally get to him to attain his goals. And he's been working really hard for it, and I think this year he'll be able to achieve some of his goals.
You know, every time I get a chance to call on a school and talk to a coach, whether it's football, basketball, or wrestling, when I see a team on there that is a direct competitor of my son's, first I have disdain, and then I have admiration. I'm sure you felt that before when you're at the high school level where you couldn't stand one particular school because they always beat you. And then you watch him on a college level, and you're like, wow, that's who we used to wrestle. And I feel the same way for Jake. When I saw his name on the list, I figured we're going to have to get Coach Caudell on and have him talk a little bit and do some love for the big division up here in Michigan.
Yeah, Jake's been great for us. You know, he's real energetic. He wants to win, and you know, most athletes do want, or all athletes want to win. Not all of them are willing to put the time in, and that's what's going to separate him from others, from some of his peers. Is, you know, he moved here right after graduation of senior year of high school. Most kids, you know, they'll just kind of hang out with mom and dad or party a little bit, or, you know, not do a whole lot after they graduate from high school or senior year. 2 days after his graduation, he was in our weight room taking summer classes. He was getting ready, and we decided to redshirt him. You know, he worked hard throughout his redshirt year, really coached up a lot of his teammates. In fact, national qualifier Adam Phillips was his workout partner. He pushed Adam every day. So it was good to see a young kid like him come in and really want to do well. And he's still putting the hard work in. You know, he's still getting in the room probably four days a week, and he's still lifting 5 days a week. So, yeah, he's been really good for us. We're definitely looking forward to finally seeing him put our singlet on and seeing what kind of damage he can do in the region and hopefully nationally. Yeah,
I know the Lake Orion people are a huge community here, and they've got like legions of athletes, and I know for a fact they're going to be following your program online and abroad. I'm sure of it.
Well, hopefully we can bring a few more of those kids down. You know, we got a little bit better weather than the Michigan area, or at least I like to think so. So hopefully Jake can bring down a few more Michigan kids and really start to develop a program with some of those kids from the upper Midwest.
That was head wrestling coach Kenn Caudell over at Belmont Abbey. He's got a powerhouse growing, and he's even coming all the way up to Detroit to look for the best talent in the country. Thanks a lot, Coach.